Hi, good day. My name is Muhammad Hanif Barnes, and today I'll be doing my assignment on sexual reproduction in the angiosperms. So let's first look at what is the angiosperm. Angiosperms are the most advanced and beneficial group of plants. They can grow in various habitats such as trees, herbs, shrubs, and bushes. So let's look at a few characteristics of angiosperms. They are able to survive in a greater variety of habitats than any other plant group. They have a faster life cycle, which means they mature more quickly than ferns and gymnosperms. Most produce greater number of seeds per year than gymnosperms. Animals aid in pollination, which means that the animals helps the pollination take place, and they can survive in small scattered population. Um, okay, so some more characteristics of angiosperms are: a single function megaspore is permanently retained within the nucleus. The root system is very complex and consists of the cortex, xylem, phloem, and epidermis. Angiosperms can survive in a variety of habitats, including marine habitats. Okay, then angiosperms are also the most diverse and specialized group. They are perennials or annuals, and then the leaves of the angiosperms are thin blades. However, they have a diversity of shapes, right? So they're all shaped differently. This is to better adapt for light interception, right? Obviously for photosynthesis purposes. The different shapes allow the light to capture the light, the leaf to capture the light differently. And then the woody tissue of the angiosperms are more complex and highly specialized. Okay, so on the next slide, we're looking at the dissection of an angiosperm. So the angiosperm that I chose was the hibiscus because it was the most convenient for me. So in the first picture here, we can see what the hibiscus looks like. In the second picture, we can see after I dissected the hibiscus into two, so we can have an indication of the different parts of the plant. And then here in the third picture, this is where I separated all the different parts onto a piece of cardboard. Right, so let's get into the parts of the flower and also what their purposes are. So the first thing that we can see here is the stem. The stem helps to support the flower and also helps with the transportation of nutrients into the flower. The next thing that we have here is the petal. The petal helps to attract insects and animals to the flower. Therefore, it's normally bright in color. And then the next thing is the leaf. So the leaf is where the food gets processed, or where the food gets made for the plant through the process of photosynthesis. The plant also has a layer on top of it, which we can't really see that clearly, but that is called the cutex. So the cutex helps protect the leaf from the sun's rays so that the water does not get extracted so quickly out of the leaf. And then here on top we got the sepal. The sepal helps keep to keep the petals intact, and then we have the uh, receptacle. The receptacle helps to protect the ovary, which is a female part of the plant. So let's get into the male part and the female parts of the plant. Here we can see the male parts are highlighted in a red color. This is known as the statum. So it consists of two parts. It consists of the anther and the filament. The anther is the head-like part that helps with the pollen, helps stabilize the pollen, and then the filament is a stem-like part that helps support the anther. Okay, and then we got the female parts, which is known as the pistil. So the female parts consist of three parts, which is the ovary, the style, and the stigma. The stigma is the pollen-like piece of the plant that sits on the head. Then we have the style, which is a tube-like part of the plant where the pollen normally travels through to get into the ovary. And then the last part is the ovary. This is where the fertilization takes place. Okay, so next we're looking at pollination. So what is pollination? It is the transfer of pollen from the anther, which is the male part of the plant, to the stigma, which is the female part of the plant. So why is it important? It is important for reproduction, to reproduce viable and variable offsprings, right? So that is to keep the species alive, basically, and then also variable, meaning to create different types of species. Um, and then sexual reproduction is also important to ensure continued existence of a plant species, like I said before, so that they do not become extinct. Okay, then we get two types of pollinization: self-pollinization and cross-pollinization. Okay, so self-pollination. It's when the pollen